Hey DevNations Book Devs, today we're taking a look at The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rubin. If you're not familiar with Rubin or his work, he is one of the most famous record producers in the world, but I would call him more of like a contrarian record producer, like a very controversial record producer, because if you look him up on YouTube, you'll find videos of him talking about how he has no technical ability whatsoever. So what is his utility when it comes to record producing? He is a sort of psychologist, or acts as this medium between the musicians and their instruments, and then this medium to conveying their thoughts and feelings and emotions in the studio room, in the production room. And so I think Rubin is a sort of musical psychologist, talking with the musicians, talking with the artists to figure out what they really want to incorporate into the music. What are they really trying to say with their music? So it comes out in the production room. The book summarized in a sentence, it is a conglomeration of, let's say, 78 areas of thought, according to Rubin, on the creative process. Looking at the table of contents, it's about 400 pages in total, and as mentioned, 78 thoughts. So if you do the math, that's about 4 or 5 pages on average per chapter or per thought. So very short and succinct chapters, or sections, if you will. And I think that's why I personally really connected with the book. Rubin does a great job at keeping each section its own thought, its own idea. And it's great for anybody who doesn't necessarily want to read the book cover to cover. Now, I read the book from beginning to end, but you don't have to. You can go ahead and cherry pick whatever ideas, whatever thoughts you feel like connecting with. But I think because I read this book from cover to cover, now I can go back to the book and go to whatever sections I'm most interested in, kind of most feeling in my creative process at that moment, and can go back to and can go ahead and learn from Rubin himself. Reading through the book, you can definitely tell Rubin is a creative person and has had various experiences in the creative realm, as he has a lot of thoughts and ideas that contradict himself. He has a lot of thoughts and ideas that, as me as a creative person, I was really able to connect with. And then there were also other ideas that I just made no sense to me. But I think that's just part of my own creative journey, sort of figuring out different things that work and don't work for me, or that I've experienced and not experienced. So I think this book is great for anybody who is a creative person, wants to learn more about the creative process, or for anybody that is currently struggling in their own creative process and want to gain some more perspective. There are various quotes, various ideas that I wish I had either read or perhaps spoken to another creative person about way earlier in my life. So it was really great to be able to experience some of these ideas and thoughts from another creative person. Again, I like to think about reading books akin it to you're walking around someone else's brain. You're getting to walk around and explore and experience that person's ideas and thoughts. And so being able to read Rubin's book, I could see his thoughts and ideas on the creative act. And it was really nice to be able to sort of bounce some of my experiences that I've experienced being a creative person with his experience, saying, oh, wow, I used to have a word for this and it was that. And Rubin calls it this. Oh, okay, that is part of that creative journey. Oh, okay, good to know. Or, oh, he tried this in his creative process. Maybe I can try that. So a really great book for anybody that is a creative person or looking to learn more about the creative process. One of my favorite quotes from the book goes, "Quality is not based on the amount of time invested. So long as what emerges is pleasing to us, the work has fulfilled its purpose." That's from page 300 of The Creative Act. I found this quote to be very relatable in my life, in work, and the creative process, in most things that I do, because you can spend either an hour getting 80-90% of it right, or you can spend 5 to 10 hours getting that extra little bit, and then later on you realize, actually, we didn't even need that extra little bit. In other words, sometimes it's okay to just have the bare minimum requirement first, save yourself the time, and move on to the next thing. I'm not saying all the time, because I know in certain things you want to get the 100%, but sometimes it's okay to just get that 80-90% that gets you there, so you can experience all the other things around that faster, and then maybe you can dedicate more time to those other things. But a lot of the time, I think trying to focus on doing one thing so 100% right can also take away so much time that you could have used to go experience some other thing that probably would have helped you even further than the thing you're spending 10 hours on. Especially when it comes to the creative process. There is no right or wrong. and sometimes getting so fixated on it has to be this one way or else I don't want to do it. It's like sometimes it's okay to like get halfway there and then adjust from there, especially on that creative journey. I also share more about what I learned from the Creative Act and how it relates to the creative process if you want to go ahead and check that out. And if you've read the book, please comment down below your favorite quote, your favorite topic, your favorite idea, especially if you're a creative person. We'd love to hear from you. Or if you're not, let me know down below whether you are or aren't and what really connected with you. I really always enjoy hearing from you. Remember, today's a great day to have a great day. So have a great day, and thanks for watching.